Hello, I am Tony Evers, State Superintendent of Public Instruction. On May 12, 2010, Governor Jim Doyle signed Wisconsin Act 309 into law. This comprehensive school safety bill includes a number of provisions that require action on the part of local school officials and the Department of Public Instruction. As part of the DPI's Safe and Respectful Schools initiative, we are providing resources and guidance on the implementation of these important aspects of the newly passed law. In this installment of the Safe and Respectful Schools webcast series, Joan Lehrman, Education Consultant for Safe and Drug-Free Schools, will highlight the requirements of Wisconsin Act 309 that call for all school districts to have a policy prohibiting bullying in place by August 15, 2010. In addition to reviewing the requirements that the local school districts must comply with, she will provide an overview of the department's model policy that the new law required us to make available and post on our website. We hope you find this information both timely and useful.
Hello, my name is Joan Lehrman and I'm an educational consultant at the Department of Public Instruction. As mentioned by Dr. Evers, I will be talking today about the 2009 Wisconsin Act 309 and the requirements for the Department of Public Instruction and school districts to develop a policy on bullying. First, I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of legislation. In 2006, Senator Neil Kedzie first introduced legislation on bullying by students. The Joint Legislative Council established the Special Committee on School Safety in 2008, which was directed to study and research different ways in which school safety can be enhanced and improved in the state of Wisconsin in our schools. Senate Bill 154 was introduced by the Joint Legislative Council as recommended by the Special Committee on School Safety, and in May of 2010, the bill was passed and signed into law. This law required the school districts to develop a policy on bullying, and it also requires the Department of Public Instruction to develop a model bullying policy. I first will talk about the requirements for the Department of Public Instruction, and then there are some specific requirements for school districts that I will address right afterwards. The policy that the Department of Public Instruction will develop can be used and adopted by school boards. There are 10 different points that the model policy must include in the definition, and I will go through each one. The first is a definition of bullying. In the DPI model bullying policy, the bullying is deliberate or intentional behavior using words or actions intended to cause fear, intimidation, or harm. Bullying may be repeated behavior and it involves an imbalance of power. This behavior can be motivated by an actual or perceived distinguishing characteristic, such as but not limited to age, national origin, race, ethnicity, religion, gender, gender identity, sexual orientation, physical attributes, physical or mental ability or disability, and social, economic, or family status. We then further talk about bullying behavior as being physical, verbal, or indirect in nature. In the section on indirect, we do include cyberbullying as part of that definition. It is strongly recommended that for school districts that use a bullying curriculum, that you align your policy with the language that is taught to the children. The second bullet is prohibition on bullying. Bullying behavior is prohibited in all schools, buildings, properties, and educational environments. We further talk about reporting procedure, and that all school district members and officials who observe or become aware of acts of bullying are required to report these acts to a person who is designated by the school district to receive such reports. Bullet number 4 talks about a prohibition against pupil retaliation. Reports are to be made anonymously and are intended so that people who are making reports do not fear for retaliation. Bullet point number 5 talks about a procedure for investigating reports of bullying. The person who is designated as being the recipient of such reports, we recommend that they investigate the reports within 1 school day. Bullet point 6 talks again about the person to whom the reports are to be made. A list of disciplinary alternatives are to be included. If it's determined that students participated in bullying behavior or retaliated against anyone due to the reporting of the bullying behavior, the school district administration and school board may take disciplinary action, including suspension, expulsion, and/or referral to law enforcement officials for possible legal action if appropriate. Also, pupil services staff will provide support for the identified victims. The next 3 bullets talk about identifying the school-related events, the property owned, and the vehicle used on which the policy applies. The DPI model policy is available on our DPI website, and the website is listed on the screen. The Wisconsin Association of School Boards also have as resource a number of examples of school policies that are currently in place in our state. The law designates August 15th as the date by which each school board is to adopt a policy prohibiting bullying by pupils. The other school district requirements have to do with distribution of the policy. The policy is to be distributed to all students enrolled in the district and to their parents or guardians on an annual basis. And if another person requests a copy, it is to be distributed to that person. As part of the legislation, Wednesday of the 4th week in September is designated as Bullying Awareness Day for purposes of school recognition. If you have any questions about the DPI model bullying policy or the requirements of school districts, please contact me, Joan Lerman, at the Department of Public Instruction. My phone number and email address is available on the screen. Thank you very much for viewing.